All right.
Okay.
1 second.
So we will just make it very, very quick, the update. So just
All
let's
right.
talk about
So,
what happened. Yeah.
yeah. So from my team, we have about 4 people that completed their work, and then Brother Musharraf has only 15 test cases, and Brother Naheem he has only 11, and the other ones they have above 50, around above 45.
Okay. Can we see the board, please? No, the active sprint. You don't have an active sprint. Did we not? Okay, so let's click on backlog or
That was
sprint one.
sprint
Okay,
one.
you do, right? Can you scroll down, please? Okay, let's continue to scroll. Okay, so these are test cases, right? Most of them are test cases. Let's continue to scroll. So all of them are test cases, right?
Yes, all of my test cases.
Okay. All right, let's scroll up, brother. Let's see how many more remaining story. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Just want to see how many more story you have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't think your project is fully ready. There are more stories, right?
Yeah, I think there is. I think we have 1 second. I think we have the members only details. I'm not sure if you updated on your end.
Okay. All right. So this week we targeted the first 3 epics, right?
Yeah.
First 3: login, homepage, about us. Okay. So how do we do this? I wanted to do estimation first and then. Okay. Thank you, Redwan. We'll get back to you in a second. Let's go to next team quickly. Ashfaq, you want to give your update quickly?
Sure thing, right. So this week our members were working on.
I mean, later on is the
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So this week our members were working on sprint 1, which consisted epic 1, epic 2, and epic 3, all of the user stories in those 3 epics. All of our members, they basically completed all 3 epics. It's just this week I was planning on going over some of those test cases that they've created, and there are many improvements that can be made. So if we do start with execution this week, while they're executing, we're also going to review their work so we know they have the same mindset as a QA should have, and also make improvements to how they can better their test cases.
Okay, that is very good idea, and this is impressive number. This is good. Unfortunately I won't be able to, or we won't be able to review them here. I will fully trust you in your abilities to guide them, and as we go on with this project, we'll eventually review some of the test cases. So thank you, Ashfaq. Let me come back to you in a second. Do we have Mamoon or Shabar?
Kadir bhai, I need like 2 minutes. I'm just setting up my
Yeah.
computer. It's
Take your
giving me
time,
some
Shabar. No problem. Ishtiaq, are you ready to provide an update? Just quick update.
Yeah, I could provide one.
Cool.
Okay, let me share my screen. All right, so we pretty much, made all the test cases for Epic IT 1, 2, and 3. Everybody uploaded except the one person, but they're going, they're in the emergency room right now. I messaged you about it. I actually just uploaded mine too. They're not in I didn't create a folder for them yet. And the other ones are in Excel. I had an issue uploading them, but everybody pretty much did their part. We had a couple of meetings discussing on, going over how to write test cases and, perfecting it. So I think everybody's good on that.
That's great, brother. That's great. Okay. And then we'll Shabar maybe later, but I want to continue with the estimation this week. So
Yes, Kadir bhai, I need like 2 more minutes.
yeah,
I'll let
that is fine. We will. Okay. Should we wait for anyone or should we start? I think is
Kadir bhai, can I go?
yeah. If you're ready, go ahead.
So basically what the stage we are in right now is yeah, I just got in. 1 second from my laptop.
Recording in progress.
Kadir bhai, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we could hear you.
Let me share my screen, stop share, and here I go. So this is us, all of us members. All of our members were able to finish the epics, 3 epics that we are working on this sprint. Some of us, like for example me also, I'm a bit behind, and which I'm doing. I've tried to make a folder for myself. This is making it easier so that whenever we are working on some test cases, I could just open it, and I know that for IS8 I have it here, IS10 I have it here. For Epic 1 it's right there, Epic 2 is right there. So that's what I'm working on. Apart from that, we all are doing well. There are bit like some, like me and Hosnara, we're a bit behind, but we are coping up. Yeah, that's from me. I need some update on Querylog. That's what I'm gonna talk to Mamun by whenever he's here. That's the first thing. There are some questions regarding Querylogs that we are working on.
Okay.
That's it.
This is good, Shabar. Thank you. And I like the folder structure.
This one.
Up folder and stuff. Yeah.
One thing I was confused about, I asked Razubai, but he said it's not a problem, is making this folder, would that make my board slower? That was my question. But Razubai said it's completely fine. This thing's not going to do
Probably. No, probably not. I think I saw X-ray get slower when you create multiple scenarios in a test case. When I say multiple, I'm talking about 7, 8, 9, 10, because that's not ideal situation. That's when I saw it's loading, it's taking time, but this is fine. The folders are fine.
2 or max 3. That's what you said last class. I remember.
That's how I think the test case would be clean. The idea of writing a test case to have it make sense and keep it clean, and that's what I think. That doesn't mean I'm right, but that's what I think. That's from my experience.
One more thing, Kadir bhai, regarding the project is one of the most vital and important part of our education in IT solution. So with all the recordings, because personally, even for me, I watch recordings every time. Even if I've been in the class, I watch the recordings to take notes, because it goes so fast. It's difficult asking questions. So I watch recording and take notes. is there any way we could get a separate folders for recording, and then whenever you want to take it out after this project, you can take it out? Is it possible?
Yeah, that is perfectly fine. I'm recording everything. I'm just not posting it in group
Yeah, just
or
for like the committed members who really wants it. If
yeah,
they can ask you, they can get access to the folder, and then you could get them removed also.
that's fine. I'll share it with you guys. Not a problem. I have all the recordings.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Khalil bhai. That's it from my side.
Absolutely. Thank you. So let's start, guys. Okay, let me start sharing. All right. Okay. So let me share this link. So we're gonna start with the estimation. So let's see where to. So I pinged you on the Zoom. Please see if you can access this link and do participate. Okay, so this uh, edge.
Is it my connection or the link is not working?
I don't know. Let's see. Can someone else confirm?
It's a
Link
little
is
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, it's working.
It's
Okay.
me. I'll check.
Scrum Master Developers Sprint 0. So we have completed a bunch of them, right? We are in Scrum. Product owner, we know Scrum Master, we know developers, testers, we know Sprint 0 work we have completed. We have completed understanding Epic and user stories daily Scrum meeting. We know we are going through. Does anyone has questions about what is product backlog now? Do we all understand what is product backlog?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So this is the backlog, right? Okay. Now backlog grooming. So backlog grooming, remember guys, like we went through some basically cleanup activity, right? You have a backlog and you would go through some cleanup activity to make sure that everything there is complete and makes sense and things like that. Scrum of Scrum, like today, right now, you guys are providing update from each team. This is Scrum of Scrum. So we are going through this every week. Now estimation, let's go through estimation, and we're gonna do that right now. So if you're able to join this, let's start. So I see a bunch of you started. I think we're missing more people. How did we do it last time? We had okay, so keep it clean. Just give a representative from each team. Let's start with we all will go through this, like we all will practice it, but from each team right now, for the first story, we're gonna estimate the first story. Let's see, what is the first story? Here we go. So here we have I don't have a board yet. I did not start my sprint. So if we are looking at So user story. So login page, username and password. So let's go through this one. Okay. This number ITS7 may vary depending on your project, but the descriptions should be same, right? So this one, right, we're going to estimate this one. So we're going to estimate from QA point of view what it is, right? And how do you, the way you estimate, I'll go through this quickly. So we have, what is this? Not this one. We have numbers, right? Okay, so we have number from 0 to 0.5 to 1 to 3, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 20, 40, 100. So usually in Agile, the numbers should stay from 0.5 to 8, 10, something like that. If it's more than that, that's when it's a huge work, and that is not acceptable. That needs to be broken into something smaller. So the way cards, so let's explain these cards. So 0 obviously means already done. 0.5 is like very small amount of effort or work. 1 is they're saying low hanging fruits, so which means really it's a small task, a little bit more than half, but it is still a small task. Okay. Right. Sorry. I don't know if my computer is acting up, but it's probably yes. Let me refresh it. Oh, I see what happened. Someone else took control over. That's fine. I'll take it back. I was wondering what happened. So let's go through this. Let's not click on anything, and then after that we'll start clicking. All right. So 1 is low hanging fruit, 2 is piece of a cake. Like what I'm trying to show you here, like these numbers and what they represent. So these numbers represent amount of work. Obviously 0 is nothing. 0.5 is something, but it's not much of an effort. The most of the work gets done between 1, 2, 3, 5. When you start seeing them 8 means it's obviously much bigger. Here they're saying an arm and a leg. So when you estimate something as an 8, that's mean you're talking about a day's effort. When you're talking about 0.5, that's like hours, not even multiple hours, maybe an hour. When you're talking about number 1, when you're providing estimate as 1, you're talking about a couple of hours of worth of work. 2 could be something around a day. 3 and 2 is around a day, right? 5 would be probably 2 days worth of work, and 8 would be multiple, at least 2 or 3, something like that. When you go into 13 and 20s, you need to really break it down. You need to find a way to break down your task, basically. So this is what the number represent. Now here we're going to start estimation, and the way you start estimating your work is, first of all, we will explain what we are trying to estimate, and based on the explanation, you provide your estimate here. So what I want you guys to do from each group, let's provide an individual to represent first task. Once first task is done, we will rotate, we'll give a next sets of people. I think you will get about 10 to 15 seconds to give your estimate. Once we start, all you have to do, click on these numbers that you are seeing on my screen. Once you in this, we are actually, this is like Scrum estimation, and there's a third-party tool called Scrum Poker, and this is what we're using. But when you go to your work, your company may use different tool, and the concept will still be the same. All right, so let's start. Before we start, let me see. Before we start, let me just see which one we're estimating. So ITS 7, you might have different number, but this should be same. And what we are doing here, the description says, as a user, I should be able to see the username and password pop up so that I can, I'm able to log into the application. The acceptance criteria is given user has access to the application. When user clicks on the login page, then user name and password input box shall be available. So now the estimate we are providing here, we are talking about creating test cases and then execution of test cases and logging bugs. If you find any bugs, you need to log those bugs and retest and everything, the whole 9 years. Now, yes, we started our sprint last week, but it was not complete, right? You know, we only estimated work for creating test cases. So now what we're gonna do this week, right? We're gonna ignore everything. We're gonna go to the backlog and readjust everything because we need to do that. Okay, so we're gonna start today from fresh. So just if you go here, just for now, right? For now, just bring everything back to the backlog rather than the active sprint. So we can start from scratch. We're gonna start and sprint today. It's the way you can do everything. Let me see. Okay. Yes. Should be. Okay, that's it done. My sprint is clean. And we're gonna start a sprint today. And again, we are not just writing test cases, we're doing everything. Test case creation, test case execution, reporting bugs, retesting if that bug gets fixed, everything like a real project. All right, any questions, guys, before we start estimation? Okay, seems like you're understanding. So that's good. Fine. So I'm starting, guys. So I'm assuming you guys have your representation from each team. Ashfaq, who do you have from your team?
We'll have Saima.
Saima, okay. From Radwan, your team. Who do you have?
Abdul Samad.
Abdul Samad. From Ishtiaq. Who do you have from your team?
I'll do it unless Sadiq wants to do it.
Okay. And Shabar. Are you there, Shabar? Okay, I just need 4 people to estimate. Fine. I'll start right now. I explain the user story. I'm gonna start. And then you'll only have like 15 seconds. Voting started, guys. So let's vote. I have a vote too, so I will do my part. Okay. So result is 1 and 2. but I only got 2 votes, I think. Okay, let's redo this. Let me. Let's redo this. Let me put a little bit more time, maybe 30 seconds for first time around. All right, so maybe 30 seconds for the first 25 seconds. Okay. All right, guys, let's redo this one more time. I hope I'm not doing anything. Okay, voting started 25 seconds. 3-4 votes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
I voted from Team Mangobai. No one's participated, so I just voted.
Fine, that's fine. Yeah, this is fine. Seems like 8 people voted. That is perfectly fine. Let's see. 9 people. 10. Feel free, guys. We still have 5 seconds. 13. 14. This 30 seconds is 25 seconds, very long. I think we should be able to stop it if I want. Well, we have 14, but why is it not stopping? Have the result. Okay, wow. So it's 1 and 2. Mostly 1 and 2. So in that case, we have 5 people says it's 1, and 7 people says it's 2, and 2 people said it's 0.5. So in that case, seems like, 2 has the highest vote. I would go with 2. So I would just put 2 here in this estimation right here. Just go with 2. Fine. Move on to the next one. Next one is
Right.
and
I was
this one.
could ask someone why we think it's a 2 for the password pop-up, username and password pop-up.
Okay, let's skip this one as we have smaller group. We will talk about it right now. You have 7 people or 5 people. If we go through this question, probably it's going to be taking too much time. So let's do it in next round when we have only 4 people. That will make probably more sense. Okay, so we have estimated this one. Now we're going to do, thank you, Edwin, Ashwak. So let's go with ITS 8 and only 4 people, guys, this time, so we can talk about it more closely. So we're talking about username and password functionality. So for representation, please. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about as a user, I shall be able to see username and password input box so that I can enter username into the login application. So accepting criteria.
The screen in another window. because we just see the scrum poker.
Okay, I see. Thank you, Ajay. All right, so acceptance criteria input box shall be editable. So these are the acceptance criteria. Input box shall be editable. Username must be unique, and then 20 digit, and this the combination and error message. So this one has a bunch of things to validate. So let's do estimation of this user story with 4 representation from one from each team, basically. So guys, is happening. So just-
Kadir bhai,
Yeah.
would it, before we start, can we have one story as like a model, like this story is this number, so we can go based off that?
We could have this one, right? The one we just completed.
That's a 2.
That was 1 or 2, right? We went with 2. Yeah, so let's thank you for reminding me. Yeah, we don't do it very often, so you know. I don't even know how this works anymore, you know, to be honest. Okay, this was good, I think, but there's somebody mentioned. Okay, someone probably took control over this, so I'm not able to edit anything.
What happens when you
Yeah.
delete it?
Sorry?
Delete, scroll down and delete.
Yeah. Are you talking about this one?
Bottom right. There's a delete option on that.
This one, right?
Yeah.
This will delete this estimate, this particular one. So that would leave us with, yeah, probably you have to do one by one. You can't have multiple. Yeah. Okay, fine. So we're starting with this one, guys, and like brother said, this is a number 7 would be something that you could compare with when you're estimating the feature stories as this one. So we're starting with username functionality. I'm starting right now. Rather than 30 seconds, we're gonna do 15 this time. So 15 would be better. Okay, let's start. All right, done. So we had okay, so 3 people voted for 3. 3 people says 3. 2 people says 5. 1 person said 2. 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2. I would like to know, like, why do you think it's a 5? So guys, it's a normal conversation, and that happens in the actual estimation, right? When you have when we come up with different numbers, and especially when the numbers are off by a lot, like here we have 2 and 5, we have 3 and 5, right? It's a big difference. So now we need to understand as a team why you think it's 5 and why I think it's 2 or 3 to understand what's there. Am I missing something? When I say am I missing something, like when we're talking about the complexity of it, right? If one person thinks like it's 2, another person thinks it's 5, so obviously there is a gap, right? And this is what we talk about to understand, like, you know, when I'm estimating 2, am I missing something? Am I not considering certain scenarios or things like that? So is it okay, guys? Brother Abdul Samad, like, why do you think it's 5?
Okay, so
Anybody?
I thought it was a 5 because the first user story 7, we decided that's a 2. And in that, we're just testing one thing pretty much. Just making sure if there's a pop-up, I believe. So in this test case, in this story, sorry, we're testing 5 different things. So it's a little above 2, but not a 3 either, but it seems like a 5 because there's a lot of things we have to test. You know, is the input box editable? Is the username unique? Then the limit is 20 digits, then letters, numbers, characters are allowed. And if we get an error message or not when these credentials are not valid. So it's a bit more complex than the previous story, which is a 2. And not just a little complex where it's a 3, but a little more. So I felt 5 is a safer number.
Okay, that's very good explanation. Okay, let's hear from another person, an individual that thinks it's 3. So I'm gonna pick Ishtiaq, if that's okay, brother.
Yeah, it's okay. We're doing it for IT8, right? Yeah, IT username functionality. Yeah, I thought it was a 3 because, I mean, yeah, it is harder than, you know, there are more scenarios than IT7, but, you know, I think the scenarios are pretty straightforward, at least in my point of view. You just have to test that it's editable and, you know, use BVA method to make sure it's 20 digits and the letters, numbers, special characters. It is harder than the first user story, but I don't think it's a 5. I think a 3 is okay.
Okay, thank you. So we have to redo this one because we cannot settle this. We'll redo it, but let's talk about it, right? So now username functionality when it comes to password or username is much more complex. And here we're talking about, let's just see if we're talking about username and password or just username. So this is only username functionality. And yeah, we're testing all of this. But username in nature, it's pretty simpler than password functionality. Password functionality is usually the one the hackers target to break. But username is it is complex, but I don't know. I don't know if I would consider it as 5. Yes, we have all these scenarios, all of these acceptance criteria. We may find more defects here than the first one that we estimated. So we also need to consider retest and things like that. But I wish there was a number 4, and I would think it's a 4, but I don't know if I want to call it 5. To me, probably 3 is more, 3.5 would make more sense, but that's just my opinion. We have to redo this one, unfortunately, so let's do it and see if we can find common ground. And this time, yeah, let's just redo it. Okay, let me delete this one and redo this again. Username functionality starts now. Two more. Man, you made it worse. Now we have two people says 3, 2 people says 5. Now it's 50-50. So Raju, I need your help.
This is good. We're going through the process. We are trying to figure out which one it is. So this is good, but as Kadir said, we all understood why we are using these numbers. And as Kadir mentioned that we think it's closer to 3.5 or 4, but since we do not have 3.5 or 4, for anything closer to 3.5 or 4, we're going to mark it as a 3. So I think we should all decide that it's a 3.
So now, do we all agree? Do we accept it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
3, definitely.
Definitely 3.
Yes.
So I'm gonna mark this one as 3. And move on.
Second time, yeah, I don't get it.
Cool. Now, what else do we have? So we have estimated, let's complete login functionality. All right, so we're gonna go with this one, password functionality. Now, this one should be fun. All right, so password functionality, obviously you all know, and you got everything here that you need to test, and obviously all the different type of testing, functional testing, security testing, usability testing, everything like here you need to do, right? So let's estimate this guy right now quickly. No, let me delete this guy. How do you delete him? Is it done? Fine. Okay. Password functionality. All right, let's estimate this one, guys. So four more people from one from each group, but hopefully different. Let's rotate, guys. Let's send another 4 people, one from each. Probably I started too soon. Okay, let's redo this. We only got 2 people. Just giving you another second to decide who's going. We should have done it differently, but depending on the leads to provide names. Just 2 more. All right, let's open this up for everyone because it's not working out. Let's redo this. All right, so we're redoing it. It's open for everyone. It's taking too much time to select 4 individual. Let's go, everybody. Okay. Start at 15 seconds. Seems like it's taking more than 15 seconds. Okay, let's see. Okay, cool. All right, so this one is clear 5. 12 people said it's 5. Only 1 says it's 2. But we should really ask whoever says it's 2, why do you think it's 2? If you think it's 2, like, do you want to talk about it? Why do you think it's 2? But I personally think it's 5 because he has all of these criteria that you have to address. And let's move on. We're taking too much time. All right. So if we refresh, you can see like there are numbers against it, right? There are numbers against it. Like you see, we have 2, 5, 3 here. Now, okay, let's see username functionality. X1. Now I'm gonna make it simple. Now we have 10 minutes. So let's do one thing. Now we know how to estimate. So what I'm gonna do, let's talk about it and put a number here. Forget about voting because you already know this was the whole purpose was for you to do it, to understand how to estimate. Now you already know. So let's talk about this one, right? About us text description here. All we're talking about this text, right? Nothing more than that. This is not a functional functionality that you need to test. It's not clickable, it's not editable, it's just text. What do you think, guys? What is the story point estimate should we provide for this one? The 5 seconds, let's talk.
We can provide number 1, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's 1 or even less.
Number 1.
Yeah, 1 or even less. Is
Should
there
be
a way we
out.
can do
0.5.
0.5? All you are doing, just checking, does this match? And this will take you 10 minutes literally to do. Done. Next. All right, let's look at this one. About us page. Okay. Social media link. Acceptance criteria is able to see the links. So you're just saying to see these links, right? All we're saying, when you go to About Us page, go there and see these links and match this link with your requirement. So, oh, sorry, what are we? So what numbers do we provide here?
0.5 again.
0.5.
0.5.
Absolutely, yes, 0.5, done. Now, next one, we are looking at homepage. What are we doing? Homepage. Course content. What are we saying here? Oh, we're saying this, right? We're talking about this thing right here. SDLC, are this clickable? I don't know. That's a question to you guys. Is this clickable, guys? SDLC process, SDLC, this list?
No.
No.
No. All right. So what are we doing here? We're just going
0.5.
there and seeing 0.5, right?
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Next one, we already did the logo, right? The homepage logo. All right. So what are we doing here? Homepage logo. In which page? In the homepage. So we are verifying this logo. Okay, so
5.
this is
0.5.
good. This is
5.
good, but there is one thing, guys. There is one thing, right? So there are some requirement like that measures the length, the color, there are ways like for you to like see what exactly is the requirement from the design document here. We don't have, all we provided a PNG file, and we're not asking you to like, you know, see the exact color, exact matching length of it and things like that. But I think this is more complex when you go to an actual work, and we'll try to practice at least one of them to show you how to test those things like specific design, because this is for us, like this is just a PNG file, just a screenshot. But when you go to your actual work, this kind of requirement would be would be something that would be designing from the scratch. It would be raw file, and you would need to validate the exact color, exact length of it, and things like this. We'll try to give you a demo of it when we do a test execution. So for now, like I will mark it as 2, considering those scenarios I just talked about. And when we execute it, we will explain what I was talking about, but I'll just mark it as 2 for now. All right, search functionality homepage. Okay, homepage search functionality, accepting criteria search function must be located there. Search function must be clickable. Functionality searchable. Functionality must provide result when searching. All right, so what number do we put for this one?
3.
This is pretty much bigger. We can put number 8,
Huh?
I believe, because there's so many requirements we can test cases we can come up with this.
Yeah, there are acceptance criterias, like 5, 6 of them, but you need to see what they are saying, what they're representing. So this is the search box, right? We're saying like this should be editable. When you click on it, you should be able to write something. And when you're writing something, it should fetch the result if there are results there. And I think there's a criteria like minimum 3-digit you need to enter, or 4, something like that, before that returns something to you. To me, like I would think it's a 3. I would think it's a 3. It's not a 5. I would think it's a 3, guys. What do you think?
I think it's a 3 for sure.
Okay. So since we don't have so much time, we will not argue on this for now. We'll just go with 3 and let's move on. All right. So this is 3. Now this is. So this is what this one is. Top header functionality. Accepting header functionality. Okay. Each one of them must be clickable. When clicked, it must navigate user to. Okay. All right. So we're talking about the search functionality, and when you click on each one of them, it takes you to its page. So what are we talking about here? What numbers we're?
2.
1.
I would say 2.
I would do 2
2.
because it's navigation of different URL. So I would put it as 2. Okay, now is this homepage landing page? Oh, page photo gallery. Okay, so this one. See the photo slide. I don't know if we have any pictures. So it's talking about the homepage photo gallery. So there is this photo gallery slide. Okay. What do you guys think?
Half.
Sorry?
0.5.
Maybe 1.
One.
Others?
1.
1 at a
Yeah.
push.
I mean, with this requirement, I would say 2. 2, well, 1 or 2. But if we really wanted to have good requirement behind it, then it might get complicated. But this has very little when it comes to requirement and validation. You can only validate what's in accepted criteria. So I would just put 2 for that, move on, unless if we had some strong requirement behind it. Okay. Number 14. Let's see number 14. What are we doing here? Okay, login section. It's here. Oh, we're talking about Acceptance criteria. And user is able to click on login image. Application navigates user to the login page. So this is just seeing and what do you think, guys? That we're not validating any functionality here. We're just
0.5.
yeah. Okay, let's do 1 since it's login and one click. Okay. Homepage register section. Okay, so this one, homepage register section. Now, what are we validating here? This probably. The user is able to scroll down to the register page, is able to view the register functionality, and is able to click on the register image. Application navigates user to the register page. Okay. Yeah, probably 2. At some point, like 1 or 2, some point like you, I would say it's the 1. Some point, like, you know, don't think like it's an estimate, right? It's not accurate. It's an estimate.
Okay.
It could be off, but that's okay. That's why it's called estimate. Okay, next one. Okay, what is it? Page, homepage, contact us section. What are we validating here? User is able to view this section. User is able to click on it. Application navigates user. Same thing, right? So last one was 1, so this one should be 1. So move on. Social media link. I think we estimated similar things before, but this one seems like having more acceptance criteria.
Yep.
Okay, so this is,
2,
look what it's doing.
2.
3.
If you look at this one, it's taking you
Yeah.
to the Instagram page. It's taking you to the this section. Oh, that's Facebook, right?
Yes.
So that's Facebook. This is WhatsApp. This is
So 4 different.
okay. So you're validating this 3 social media and making sure that it's taking you to IT solution pages and this number and everything. What do you guys think, guys? This is your acceptance criteria.
2.
3.
2.
3.
2. I was gonna say 2.
So 3.
2 or 3. I'll just put 3 for safety.
Yes.
First of all, like, you know, first of all, why I said 3, 2 functional is 2, but why I said 3, right? You need access to this, right? There are dependencies. How do each one of you get access to this? This could take a while, right? You know, you may request for access, but you may get it. It may take time. So there are dependencies. So that's why I put an additional number.
Makes sense.
Okay. And now here, about us footer functionality. So we're just talking about this, right? When user is able to see the page footer having below details. So you're just validating this image and text.
Wow.
So yeah, let's just do 1 and move on. As image, same thing probably. Yeah, just this. So I would just put maybe 1 or 0.5, something like that.
Yeah. 1.
This kind of things. Register. Join us registration form. Okay, this is probably, wow, this is,
We didn't do.
all right, let's talk about this now. Now, this is fun, right?
Yeah.
Let's understand the acceptance criteria. So you're saying, given user has access to the application, user navigates to the join us page, then user is able to see the details of the registration form functionality mentioned below. So we're talking about a registration form having name, form name, email format, address, phone number, and each fields are editable and things like that. So what are we talking about? Like what kind of numbers we're comfortable with? you're validating each one of these input box.
8.
5.
Yeah,
8.
it's 5 or 8. I would say 8 because of the dependencies and everything. It's this form itself is an application. Like, yeah, someone else built it. That's why we don't need to probably worry about it because it's been tested already. But it itself is an application. So it's probably bigger than 8 if we had to build it. It's definitely more than 8. But fortunately, we're not building it. We're just using it and making sure it's working. So yeah, now join us. What are we mentioning here? So we are just checking this image. This is nothing more than 1. I think it's 0.5. This is much simpler. All right, image. Let's see what kind of image is that.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Some of these we haven't done it yet, but it's okay. You still want us to kind of
It's not like a
We
user
haven't-
story in our epics.
yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat that? When you say some of it you haven't done, you're talking about writing
Yeah,
test
some of this
cases?
is not in our epic. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why I
Oh.
couldn't estimate some of them. I'm like, okay, maybe it's
Yeah.
okay.
like this one specifically, like the registration page. That was not
Yeah.
in Epic.
No, it's
yeah.
not.
So guys, leads, that's on you to copy this board to your board.
Yeah, I didn't copy those yet because we weren't working on test cases for that. But yeah, I have Ridwan's Jira. I'm just gonna copy from there.
Yeah, please let me know if you don't have this. Let's copy it in your board. We are starting today with everything, so not everything should be copied over your board. Okay, now, so thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
All right. So this one contract as page functionality. We are talking about, what are we talking about? All right, so this one we built, right? We're talking about this entire functionality here. Now this functionality, okay, so users able to see the details, contract as static header, input box, phone number, email, message, all fields required. So one requirement is missing from here. Like, look, we have all of this, right? You filled out all of this, then you send it. Where does it go? Which box does it sends those information? And how do we validate that? So that requirement is not given here. I need to create that requirement, but for now, what you're validating, like all of these fields are working. They are supporting what they're supposed to support in terms of different type of characters. And that should avoid like the format, right? And the phone number should be numbers only, right? And this digits, 334, things like that. That's what you're validating, name and email format. And obviously message should have a limit. So what are we talking about here? What number is comfortable for you guys? So you're just validating this first part. You're not validating where it goes. I haven't seen that functionality requirement here. And how did you guys miss this question? I have someone ask this question. If you didn't ask this question, then you probably don't understand QA yet. End-to-end validation, right? Again, let me show you what I'm talking about if you're not clear. So we have this, right? this input box, this request box, this email box, whatever you want to call it, to contact this particular admin or the company. Now, once you fill out this information, you hit submit. When you click submit, what happens? Where does it go? That's a question you guys should have asked. No one asked this question. Some kind of, or you guys did, but I'm not aware of.
This question, I think you clarify already, Kadir, but you says when we are verifying, don't hit the submit, because once we submitted all information, everything goes to you, everything. So I think you talk one day about this.
You're muted, brother.
Sorry, I missed it. I apologize. So did anyone ask this question, or we don't know? We don't have the knowledge yet.
Yeah, we do have a knowledge. You told us one day, like when we are verifying this page, don't hit the submit button, because if we hit the submit, the all information goes to you every time when we are verifying. So you say like just verify as a manually, don't hit the submit button.
So that's fine, right? That's fine. I requested that, but did we ask this question about how to validate it, or requirement wise, what to do with this? I did say that for two of them, right?
You did say it. You did say us that we should always ask that question, that once we fill out this type of form or application, when we click the submit button, what we should ask, what is it going to happen? Is it going into the main data? Is it going to the register? If we're talking about this IT solution application, like I said, we haven't done this case that the story yet, so I guess
We haven't come across it yet.
we haven't come across it, but that's probably why you didn't see some of our questions.
Okay.
So next, when Istepai adds to our
If
epic,
you
we can
look
start.
at this one, if you look at this one as well, right? This is similar thing, but this has different application, right?
Mhm.
So this is registration form, and this is as contact us
Contract information.
functionality.
Mhm.
So both of them, when you hit, it
Mhm.
goes somewhere, right? When you submit it, it goes somewhere. So this one, when you're hit this registration page, it goes here. So I strictly says, oh, sorry. I strictly says don't hit registration button for this one, because then it would reflect here. And these are actual 103 people register for this batch. Now, every time you hit submit for this registration page, it will come to me, and we will open it for you once we do actual testing. Right now, I said don't do it, but this will go when you hit submit. So this will go here in our email page, IT solutions email page. It will come here, and we can validate it here. So that kind of details and understanding needs to happen, and you must have upfront before you start testing. All right, so now that you have this knowledge, how do you estimate this one? This is 8. This one, what do you guys think?
I'll say about 8.
7, 8. For testing. 9.
Okay.
Break it out, maybe.
All right, 8. Fine. Done. This is done. Everything is done. So we have estimated our entire board.
Other
And
way,
we have
the previous
Yeah.
story that you were just discussing. So like one of the things it said 1,000 characters. So for that, there's like tools to enter 1,000 characters, right? QAs don't do it.
You could when you're no, it's very simple. You know, you could take it to Microsoft Word and count your characters. Even that application itself should give you you'll be able to find those characters. Like, you know, if you go to developers tools and things like that, you just need to know how. But simpler way, just go to Microsoft Word and count your control A,
You
and
have
then
to
we'll
manually
see.
do it, like enter 1,000 digits.
Unless someone else knows, I'm sure there are some things I probably don't know.
Do you want?
It's simple. Type 10 characters, copy that, paste it 10 times, copy those 10 and paste it 10 times. You get 1,000. Go up to 1,000.
See, Raju has a solution.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, I joined late because I'm but I just wanted to mention one thing. My I probably could solve this later on, but our Jira is not configured to story point estimate. It says original estimate and it's by the minutes or month. When I put the 8, it says 8M.
Are you talking about this? This is counting in minutes.
Yeah, but like if you open up to your story, it says story point estimate. And for me,
So you go to the configuration and change it.
okay.
So you're an admin for your
Yeah.
So this is this is in minutes, right? For you.
Yeah. It says original estimate. That's what it says for mine.
So there are story points and there are original story points. So you just need to bring this into your active board, the story point estimate. So two different things, original and
I don't have full admin access. Last time I couldn't.
I will look into your board.
Also, one more thing at the end of the class, can I speak with you about the user story in 2024, because the login functionality is a little bit complicated, the backend.
Okay, we can talk about it further. And this, of course, these are the question and conversation should be happening. And that's why we had like entire week of query log and requirement understanding. Unfortunately, I didn't see much activities, but that's good. You could always, anytime, come up with your questions and try to rectify it. The main goal is to have a clean, bug-free application, regardless how you do it. Of course, ideally, you want to follow the process, but yeah. Anyway, so going back to estimation, guys, we have completed estimation of entire project. Any questions, concern? Do you feel comfortable? How do you feel? How do you feel we did?
It seemed pretty simple, and the Scrum Poker was pretty fun.
Nice, cool, yeah. Now, next part is you estimated, right? So your estimation from QA point of view, we only have QAs, right? We don't have devs here, so that's why we're estimating. We're only considering QAs. Now we have estimated everything that totaling 45.5 story points. It's meaning if this is how much work left for the entire project. We have 20 issues and 45.5 story point worth of work. Now then the next question is, how much work can we take out for next sprint? So this is when I say how much, I'm talking about how many story points from here. You're 45. Now you have to look at it from your group. We have 4 groups. Each group, first thing we need to understand, what is our capacity? Next thing we need to understand, are there any planned vacation or anything coming up? If not, we should have our full group, right? Considering we have full group. Now, before that, you need to understand how much story point can one person complete per day. Now that's something team has to decide, right? Obviously there are standards in the company now. You guys, let's say Team Mango, I don't know how many people you have. Let's say you have 4 people in your team. Now, how many story point can one person complete per day? So let's just assume 5 story point can one person, let's not say day, for the sprint, let's just say for the sprint. Because we are meeting next Friday, right? So that would be 1 week, next Sunday. So for this 1 week, how much story can one person complete? Let's just assume 5. So 5 story point can one person complete. In that case, I said you have 4 people. Let's say you have 5 people. I'm trying to get to 20 story point per sprint. So we complete it in 2 sprint. So if you have 5 people and 4 people, sorry, you had 4 people, 5 story point per sprint, that's 20. So this is really your capacity for that sprint. Now, what do you have to do based on the priority? And this is the job of the Scrum Master. They will go in and pick those 20 story point based on the priority. It's a priority meaning high, medium, low. So obviously login functionality would be the highest priority. Login page, they will definitely take those type of work. And when you see you're hitting that mark, that's when they will stop. Now, I will start with login page, and you can see the number will change as we make those changes. If we take this one, so there's 2 story point for this active sprint. If we take this one, we can do it here. Move it to sprint 1. We can take this one, sprint 1, log in, move it to sprint 1. That's the home page then. Home page. Sprint 1. Sprint 1. So how many we have? We already have 17 story point. We only have 3 left. 2.5, 3, whatever. So this one, maybe this 1.5, but this is different home page. Okay, so look at this. You have 20.5 story point that you estimated and selected for sprint 1. Now now we can start the sprint and start working. And now this is a complete estimation and complete sprint that we're going to start from scratch. And now, Mamun, can you make the link active, please? The IT solutions page.
Okay.
Because we have to start working. Here you go. So this is your application. Mamun will post it in the Microsoft Teams, and you pretty much as a team, you start your test execution. You already created test cases. If your team did not complete test case creation, continue and then execute, start execution. If you find bugs, please log it. You should be able to, when you log a bug, right? Obviously, you created your test cases here. You created your test cases against your story, and then you will be creating your bugs again, making sure you're creating your bug on your fail step. When you're executing, you'll have multiple steps. Whichever step fails, you are failing that step and creating bugs right there. So it has a linkage to the test cases, and it has linkage to the story as well. And we'll closely review it, because this is the standard you have to set. And yeah, I'm sorry, it's a long class, but unfortunately we had to go through this, and it's very, very important. Now, only thing you guys leads have to do is restart your sprint, first sprint, and we'll continue from this point onward. Just get rid of whatever you had there, estimate your board, and then start your sprint. Extend the time to, what is this, 09 to 23rd. So we are working with 1 week sprint, so we'll do 16. And for test, for sprint goal, we should have a test case creation, test case execution, and finding bugs. These are the 3 things for your test sprint goal. And then you hit start, and then you'll take it from there. I'm not doing it for this board. I'll let the lead do it, but that's the idea. Any questions, guys, concerns?
I have a question, Kadir. So the number you estimated where you I could see in your screen, and now you see 20.5 for the estimation. I don't see it from my side, so I'm not supposed to see it, or you are the only one see the remaining hours or whatever time estimated. It's under. It's also not under the details, so I don't see any estimation at all.
You have a different board, and that is not yet configured. Your lead will configure it.
Okay, so whenever our stream starts, that's when I will see it.
Yeah, I think you guys should get on a call, on your Scrum call, and do what we have done. Repeat what we have done today in this class. So basically, we have 4 different boards, right? And each board is, these boards are not linked. If we have 30 people working in one board, it's going to get very, very messy. So we designed 4 boards for you guys, and each board has a lead, and your lead is responsible to make these changes so it reflects on your end. So hang in there. Right after this class or tomorrow, they will make those changes, and it should reflect.
Kadir, I had a question.
Yes.
So for this week, we are finishing up the 3 epics that are left. Like, we're writing test cases for them, and
we hit the reset button because we spent 2 weeks trying to write test cases, and it wasn't done. And ideally, right, when you're working on a sprint, it's just not writing test cases. You're doing everything within that sprint, whatever the time we select for the sprint. We have 1 week here, usually it's 2 weeks, and within this 1 week or 2 weeks within those sprint, you are responsible to do everything: writing test cases, doing test execution, and creating bugs. These are your 3 main responsibilities. And going forward, since we started our project and first 2 weeks was practice, now is no more practice. We're doing actual work. So whatever 20 story point we selected, 20.5, those tickets that you're seeing in the active board, under sprint 1, you are supposed to be doing everything that requires for those to be completed. Does it make sense, brother?
Yes.
Do we assign stories to anybody or everybody's everyone is doing
Yes. Thank you for that. I would recommend to you guys, instead of everybody doing everything, you as a lead, so we have 10 tickets probably here. Just assign like different tickets to different individual. I think that way work will get done sooner. And that's how we would be working in a real project. So just look into the story and see who you should assign it and do this on a call. So that would probably get more clear.
I have a question. So I'm a little bit confused, like the login functionality, right? So how are we supposed to do the login functionality?